Most farmers do not have a hard work problem. They have a systems problem. You already wake up early. You already work long hours. You already carry 100 decisions before noon. And yet the list never gets shorter. The fence line is still overgrown. The pests are still in the garden. The hay bill keeps climbing. The night anxiety about predators arrives right on schedule every single night. Here is what nobody tells you. Some of the most powerful workers on your farm do not need fuel. They do not break down. They do not need a paycheck. And they work while you sleep, while the weather is bad, and while your energy is completely gone. 7 animals. 7 specific problems solved. Real numbers. Regional guidance for Canada, the UK, and the United States. And a system vision that shows you what a farm looks like when all of them are working together. That is what the next 15 minutes is going to give you. Burnout on a farm does not come from hard work. It comes from the feeling that the work never ends and nothing ever gets easier. If the problem were effort, the answer would be more hours. But you're already at the limit of hours. If the problem is systems, the answer is replacing the wrong system with one that removes work instead of adding it. Every animal on this list solves one specific, felt problem currently costing you time, money, or sleep. And unlike equipment that depreciates and breaks, working animals reproduce and compound. The flock you start with this spring is still delivering benefits a decade from now. 7 animals. Real numbers. Let us go. The problem chickens solve is one that drains farmers slowly and quietly. Pest pressure and soil fatigue. Both problems worsen gradually. Both cost more than most farmers realize. And both are typically addressed with chemicals that add cost, labor, and a recurring expense that never goes away. 5 to 10 hens working a kitchen garden eliminate the majority of tick, grasshopper, beetle, and ground insect pressure within 2 to 3 weeks. They loosen compacted soil naturally, fertilize as they forage, and replace. Approximately $200 to $300 in annual pesticide inputs on a standard half-acre plot. The eggs they produce 8 consistent layers across Canada. The UK and the United States generate $400 to $700 annually. Net positive from an animal solving a problem you are already paying to address. The one rule that keeps chickens productive: rotate access. Move them through sections deliberately. The areas they finish recover. The areas they enter get cleaned. That rotation is the entire system. Overgrown land is one of the most demoralizing problems a small farm faces because it is always visible. Every time you walk past that corner, that fence line, that slope that machinery cannot reach, it reminds you of something unfinished. And clearing it manually or mechanically is expensive in both time and money. 2 to 3 boar cross goats clear a quarter acre of dense brush, bramble, and invasive woody growth in 4 to 6 weeks. Mechanical clearing of equivalent ground costs $800 to $1,500 in equipment. Higher across Canada, the UK, and the United States. 2. Goats do it for $60 to $90 in feed and produce marketable kids at season's end. They work on slopes too steep for tractors, rocky ground, where equipment gets damaged, and tight spaces where nothing else reaches. Secure temporary fencing, daily water, and a 4 to 6 week rotation is the complete management requirement. The fencing pays for itself from the first clearing job. This is the animal most farmers walk past, and it is a genuine mistake. Slugs and snails feel like an unavoidable part of growing food. Chemical bait feels like the normal solution. Neither of those things is true once you understand what ducks actually do in a growing environment. 3 to 4 khaki Campbell or Indian runner ducks. Both breeds available across Canada, the UK, and United States clear slug and snail pressure from a standard market garden within 1 season of managed access. Unlike chickens, ducks do not scratch. They move through rows eating ground pests without disturbing roots, or stems, and they work in wet conditions when chemical controls wash out and pressure is highest. Chemical slug control on a half-acre plot costs $150 to $300 annually. 3 khaki Campbells replace that cost and produce 250 to 300 eggs per year, each at 1.5 to 2 times chicken egg. Prices in all 3 markets. In the wet climates of Atlantic Canada, the Pacific, Northwest, and the UK, ducks are not an alternative to chickens for pest control. They are better. The hidden cost of pasture maintenance is one of the most consistently underestimated expenses on any mixed farm. Fuel, equipment servicing, blade sharpening, breakdowns at the worst possible time. 3 to 5 ewes or wethers on a managed rotational system eliminate that cost entirely from the areas they graze. On a half-acre to 1-acre pasture managed with a simple 2 to 3 paddock rotation, 3 ewes maintain grass height consistently through the growing season without machinery, fuel, or breakdown risk. A ewe in the UK produces a lamb worth 80 to 150 pounds at sale. In Canada and the United States market, lamb returns consistently exceed annual feed costs on a small managed flock, which covers a portion of care costs. Properly rotated sheep improve soil organic matter and grass density year on year. The pasture in year 5 is measurably more productive than when you started. That improvement has real capital value. Predator loss is a financial problem, but predator anxiety is something harder to quantify and in many ways more damaging to a farmer's long-term well-being than the financial loss itself. The night anxiety is real. The knot in your stomach when you hear something outside. The mornings when you walk to the coop or the pasture not knowing what you will find. That anxiety accumulates. It wears people down in a way that is entirely separate from the cost of any individual predator event. A properly bonded livestock guardian dog, Great Pyrenees, Anatolian Shepherd, or Kangal are the 3 breeds with the strongest evidence base across northern climates. Removes both the financial loss and the anxiety simultaneously. Bonded to your flock at 8 to 10 weeks and raised with livestock rather than as a house pet, a guardian dog provides 24-hour territorial protection, driven entirely by instinct. No commands, no ongoing instruction, no presence required from you. Setup cost runs $300 to $800. From a working line puppy in Canada, the UK, or the US. Annual care, feed, basic veterinary, worming runs $600 to $1,200. Working lifespan is 10 to 12 years. The financial case is straightforward. A single predator event killing 5 to 10 hens or 3 to 4 market. Lambs costs $300 to over $1,000 in one night. One prevented loss per season covers the dog's annual care cost. What changes beyond the finances is harder to measure but equally real. You sleep differently when the flock is covered. Land preparation steals more farm energy than most farmers account for until they are in the middle of a clearing project with a hired digger, a sore back, and a bill. That was twice what they expected. 2 to 3 store pigs in a well-fenced enclosure clear. Root and aerate a 1/4 acre of rough ground in 3 to 4 weeks. They break compacted soil, remove surface, vegetation and shallow roots, and fertilize throughout. The ground they leave is ready to plant. Equipment hire for equivalent clearing runs $800 to $1,500 across all 3 markets. 3. Store pigs at 8 to 10 weeks cost $150 to $300 total. Feed for the 4-week rotation adds $60 to $90. At the end of the clearing period, those 3 pigs produce 200 to 240 pounds of usable pork. You do not pay to prepare the land. The land preparation pays for itself in meat. Use sturdy electric fencing. Pigs test every boundary and move them out after 4 weeks to allow soil recovery before planting. Most farmers have never seriously considered llamas as working animals, and that is one of the most consistently missed opportunities in small livestock farming. A single gelded male llama introduced to a sheep or goat flock positions itself between the flock and any approaching canine threat, coyote, fox, or stray dog, makes alarm calls audible across the property, and charges if the threat advances. Agricultural research consistently shows llamas reduce predator losses by 80 to 90%, comparable to a well-bonded guardian dog. The practical advantages over dogs are direct. No puppy bonding protocol, no prey drive risk around young lambs, no barking, critical for semi-rural and residential adjacent properties across Canada, the UK, and the United States. No specialist feed, Llamas grasse. The same forage as your sheep and goats. Setup cost runs $800 to $2,500 for a quality gelded male. Working lifespan is 18 to 22 years, nearly twice that of a guardian dog from a single purchase. Fiber income offsets care costs. 3 to 8 pounds of fiber annually at $12 to $25 per pound in current markets. $40 to $200 per animal per year from an animal whose primary job is protecting your flock. Most farming content presents working animals as 7 separate experiments. Here is the view that changes everything. They are one integrated system. Chickens work the garden beds. Ducks follow in the wet and slug-prone rows. Goats clear the overgrown margins. Sheep maintain the pasture goats would overgraze. Pigs prepare the new ground each season. The guardian dog covers night patrol. The llama holds the daytime territorial perimeter. Every animal is producing. Every animal is replacing a cost that was previously leaving your farm. The whole system runs for less than the chemicals, equipment hire, and predator losses it replaces. This scales to whatever land you're working with. You do not need 40 acres. You need the right animals in the right sequence. And the right sequence starts with 1. Choose the animal that solves your single biggest current problem. Master it completely. Let it stabilize and produce. Fund your next addition from the savings it generated. That is the only expansion model that compounds without burning you out. The farmers who add 6 species in the first season are not more ambitious than the ones who start with 1. They're just less likely to still be running those species by the end of year 2. Start with 1. Do it well. Build from confidence. That is the farm that gets easier every year. You already work hard. That has never been in question. The question has always been whether the systems around that hard work are designed to get easier over time or to stay exactly as demanding as they are right now. 7 animals. 7 specific problems. Chickens 4. Pest pressure and soil fatigue. Ducks for slugs in wet conditions. Goats for the overgrown margins. Stealing your land. Sheep maintaining pasture without machinery. Pigs preparing ground that pays in meat. A guardian dog returning the sleep predator anxiety has been taking. A llama providing 20 years of quiet, effective protection from a single purchase. One of those 7 animals is the right starting point for your farm right now. Leave a comment below and tell me which one it is. Tell me your location, your situation, your biggest current problem. I read every single comment in this. Community is built from the honest experience of real farmers working real land with real constraints. Your answer might also be the answer another farmer in this community needs to hear today. If this video gave you one clear idea that changes how you approach your farm workload, please like it and share it with a fellow farmer who is still doing that job manually or paying someone else to do it. It might be worth a year of easier mornings for them. Subscribe to AgriWise Hub and turn on your notifications. Every week, we bring you practical farming systems and honest agricultural knowledge built for real operations with real constraints. Next week, we go deep into how to build a complete integrated working animal system on half an acre, sequenced, costed, and designed for the specific climates of Canada, the UK, and the United States. Your farm does not need to stay this hard. It just needs the right partners.